Light Talk, episode 22. Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new Light Talk episode. My name is Manny and you can find me over at retutpro.com, the channel where you get to learn everything about photography and Photoshop in weekly quick tutorials. So in this week's Light Talk episode, I'm going to talk about the light setup here from our Monday tutorials, which was basically color pop in Photoshop. So if you haven't seen that before, have a look right here. Great, so on the screen right away now you get to see the final result. Again, remember this has a lot to do with color adjustments in Photoshop. So this is not out of camera, it's retouched again. But let's head right away over to our light setup here. So first of all, I want to talk about what strobes and modifiers I've used. Again, I've worked with my 500 watts Chrome strobes and as well this time with 3 modifiers. So first of all, I've worked with 2 strip lights for the background to get some really nice rim light, and then also in the foreground I've used a nice small octobox. Again, all 3 of these lights are without diffusing material because it absorbs too much light when working with gels and the diffusing material. Then you need to power up the lights completely to the maximum power and still you do not have enough pop on your image. So again, take out the diffusing material when you do this. Okay, let's also talk a little bit here about the light setup. So first of all, I've used again a 50% charcoal gray backdrop, obviously because I have that. But if you move your model far enough away from the backdrop, it actually goes from gray into dark. So that was point number 1. Then number 2, we have a smoke machine behind the model and in front of the background in order to get some smoke. On this picture here on the final result, we didn't have too much smoke in the background, but there are a few more shots that you will also see in a minute that has some smoke in it. Great, then we've also used left and right, again almost at a 45 angle degrees there. We had 2 strip lights, left and right, both without diffusing material but with a grid, so that the light does not spill onto the background or flare somewhere into camera. So again, straight onto the model, giving it a nice rim light all the way around with orange. More about the gels in a little bit. Then from the front we've used a small octobox again, also without diffusing material but with no grid, and placing it a little bit higher that we don't get too much shadows but a little bit. So you have to play a bit with the octobox when placing it in the front. Then on the right hand side of the model we've also placed a polyboard. Again, a white polyboard so light can just spill a little bit more onto her whole outfit and brighten that a little bit. It did not add so much of a pop, but I've tried to at least get a bit of light out of it. It didn't work so well, but we've had it on the shoot. Then also let's talk a bit about the gels that we've used in the lights. Again, I did not use the professional gels for this. I've worked again with very cheap gels that you can get at a stationery shop. So this is basically, I think, packing material for books or for little magazines, whatever you want to call this. So I've basically used this. Again, 2 tips for this. First of all, you can see this one is a bit more transparent and light can shine easily through this. So I would definitely recommend working with this because the light can travel easy through this. We also have a bit of a blue here, which is a bit more a matte look, like you guys can see, and it's really tough to see through this. So again, this I would not recommend because the light can't travel through this. It just degrades the whole light and it gets very soggy and it doesn't look nice. There's no pop on the picture. So again, I did not work with this. We've tried to work a little bit then with purple, but at the end I've actually turned out to work with the blue. More about that a little bit later. So you can get away with also working with these instead of buying the really expensive one. But I would recommend, if you do this quite a lot, maybe invest into the expensive ones because they're also heat resistant. So let's also talk a bit about how we place the gels into the softboxes. So first of all, you strip the whole softbox and you're just left with the outer shell of the softbox. So basically meaning your silver inlined material. Then inside you have a bit of a ring, aluminium ring. On that aluminium ring you basically tape the gel. So you don't need to cover the whole softbox with it, just inside the strobe area. So again, when you put the strobe in, you can basically block the softbox, and then again you obviously have a modeling light. Turn off the modeling light completely or take it out, otherwise your gel will melt once it touches and once it goes on. So we taped that in the inside and then got away with just using here the 2 strobes in the back and 1 in the front again. And obviously using the gels Again, the see-through one, so where it lets a bit more light through and not so much the matte one. Okay, so right away on the screen, let's also have a look at the first picture that we took, which is again here the model far enough away from the background, so the background is completely dark. And then left and right, you guys get ready to see on almost a medium power, the two 500 watts strobes left and right, hitting the model with a beautiful rim light there. Also an orange tone. This can always be changed in Photoshop with hue and saturation. Remember, you can tweak the colors. Have a look at the Monday tutorial. Then also we have that as our first shot. Then we started out, we were happy with the rim light left and right. Then we started out with the front light. I started working with the blue matte look, but it didn't look nice, so I started then actually with using just purple. So this is a bit more see-through, as you guys can see, and I've started using that. But didn't look too good. I didn't like the purple with the orange color, it didn't fit for me, so I went back to just working with the blue color, the matte color. But again, remember, I've only used this as a single sheet. For the rest, for the strip lights, I've used double sheets, so the the colors are just a bit stronger. I couldn't do this with this gel, obviously, because it's matte and the light does not travel nicely through it, it's just very dull. So I've just used it on one single sheet and then told myself, okay, in Photoshop I need to do a plan in order to just make it a bit more blue and brighten up the front, which you obviously get to see also in the ColourPop tutorial. So that was our start. Let's move over. Here you guys get to see now everything in action. The smoke machine in the background, left and right two strip lights, again with grid, remember that. And from the front you can see there's a bit of blue going on, but it's not giving me that amazing pop that I actually wanted. So next time I'll most probably work with a better blue gel. Then also everything in outfit, the girl wearing the leather jacket just reflects light even more, and obviously working her into the pose. Again, octobox from the front, not too high, not too low, so you have a bit of shadows going on, left and right the two strip lights and the smoke machine. Great, and that's how I did the whole light setup for that. Then over in Photoshop, again took the basic image into Photoshop. First of all did some healing and some cloning, fixing the skin a little bit, a bit of skin retouching on here as well, some brightening and fixing the skin overall. Then went over to just color adjustments, which you can also see again in our color tutorial. But if you're part of our subscription team or subscription member, you get this whole PSD for free in your account right from, I think, 2 days already. Anyways, you can also download the whole PSD and have a look at that. Then, lastly, obviously some more color changes here and some adjustments, and that's basically it. Anyways, remember again to use, maybe if you're using the cheap gels, to use it double-sided to get some more intenser color tones again on your final out-of-camera image, and not work with the matte version because it's just very yucky and not works at all. And yeah, remember to get those if you don't want to invest in the expensive gels. And if you're like me and just can't get enough of Photoshop or photography, then click on your screen right now to subscribe. We send out free Photoshop and photography tutorials every single week. And don't forget, we love to stay in touch, so leave your feedback down below in the comment section, or again send us your tutorial requests to tutorials@retutpro.com. Thanks again guys for watching, I'll see you all in the next tutorial. And you are still here, so this most probably means you want to see some more light talks. Yeah, and have a look down below in the description is a link to our website, where you can find the complete series from episode number 1 to episode 22 about all the recent light talks. Or if you're interested, have a look here on the right hand side, are some more tutorials just about Photoshop. So yeah, your choice, click away. And I'll see you guys all next week. Woo!